Hey everybody, welcome back to Shapes.io. I'm Joe Mama, your host. Now, this is an interesting game. If you like Factorio, I really think you'll like this game. I've done a couple videos on this before, but I've never done a Let's Play, and judging by the reception of those videos, I'd kind of like to start doing that. And, now after having played through the game and completed all levels once, I'd kind of like to try it again. I've learned some things. I missed some things the first time around that I didn't discover until later, and I'd really like to give this a shot again, and maybe we can kind of do it together, and maybe even kind of, I won't call it a speed run, but I'd like to make a concerted effort to push toward winning the game in, I say as little time as possible, but as efficiently as I can. So here's the thing. So here's what I know. Let's hit the F key right here. Oh, actually, let's, okay, it really wants me to do that. Tutorial doesn't. Okay, hit the F key. Now that tells us the upgrades that we can aim for. And in order to get them, we need to get a whole bunch of uncolored circles and a bunch of uncolored squares, the star piece here, and we're going to need to have mixing and painting enabled, but obviously this half square right here. So we get a few of those and we should be good to go. And now the circles, look, I could get them from right here, but this is a procedurally generated game, and in order to build things, it doesn't require any resources. I could build as many conveyor belts as I want. It doesn't cost me anything. So I can go as far afield as I'd like. So let's take a look. I'd kind of like to go a little ways out for some of this stuff because later in the game things aren't so cluttered. And like right here, we've got circles right here, and I'm thinking that we can go ahead and do our circles from way over here, as crazy as that sounds. Let's see, I'm going to go to the hub, and I'm going to go ahead and actually draw the belt the wrong way, and see if we can do that. And that is going to bring us close. Is this where we wanted to go? No, it was way over here. There's another circle there, but I'd like to go as far away as possible, honestly. Unfortunately, one of the ways this game differs from Factorio is kind of a little easier because of terrain and whatnot to track where you are in relation to your base. But here the terrain is very abstract, and it's kind of hard to figure that out. So maybe that's something that we can see as a change in the game in the future. Okay, it's right up here. Okay, good. So let's go ahead, set up our extractors, bring this down to the belt, and then we're going to run the belt the other way, because unlike Factorio, this game adjusts the orientation of your conveyor belts based on which direction you're moving. Factorio, it's independent of that. So there might be some habits that you've created playing Factorio which you might have to change to play this game more effectively. Alright, so let's put that there, and that's going to take care of, let's see, we're going to be able to increase our belts, the tier of our belts, and we might even be able to increase extraction as well. I'm sure if we could probably find some squares nearby. Let's take a look. See, here's one problem though. The farther you go afield, the greater problem you're going to have finding regular shapes. So they're going to be harder and harder to find. You're going to find goofy stuff, like these shapes here, that you're going to have to alter in order to make work. Because chances are you're not going to find a need for that shape. Okay, so the squares, let's see. How much of a need do we have for them? 400. Well, you know what? They are going to be needed. So they are going to be needed for a long time. So maybe one thing we can do, we can start close, and then as things go, as we progress, we can adjust the belts. We can adjust the extractors. But if there's something that's that we can get farther away, I want to do that. It just keeps things less cluttered closer by. But you know what? we'll just kind of consign ourselves to the fact that these close constructions, if you will, these ones that are close to the hub, we're going to end up having to disassemble them at some point because we need to make room for the more critical shapes we're going to need to get in larger quantities. And when that happens, we're not going to want anything cluttering the way between those factories and the hub. And these things right here are just going to be in the way. So we can set up a source elsewhere. So we're going to go ahead and watch those things come in. And stars. Can we find stars, like regular stars nearby? So let's take a look. Right here. Perfect. Ah, there we go. We've already reached level 1, so now we can start splitting stuff up. Great. So we'll get to that in just a minute, but let's go ahead and get these things rolling. Okay, we'll reroute this. I want to remove that belt to the right. Just doing what I can to make this more efficient. Okay, so let's tear down the old one. And let's take a look again here. So we're almost done with the Tier 1 upgrades for the belts. Extraction is on the way. And we need to get mixing and painting up and running too. So what are we going to get if we increase this, if we get this level? What are we going to get? What is the next level? It doesn't say. Okay, so there's nothing that actually happens. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our snippers. Do that. And let's see. Now, unfortunately, we only are going to be able to get half of them there. So we'll let that build up, and then so we'll let that complete. And then at some point, we're going to be able to rotate these, and then we can increase that. We can increase that number. So let's take a look at our progress here again. All right. Well, it's going to be a while before we get cutting and stacking, but when these... Oh, there we go. Let's hit the upgrade. Boom. Got it. Okay, so unfortunately, in order to do this, make this more efficient, we need to be able to rotate these pieces. And indeed, we can't do this at all. We can't do this next level here until we learn how to rotate pieces. We don't have that technology yet. So let's concentrate on unlocking the next level. And let's finish off tearing this belt down. And let's go ahead and put these in there. And let's do that. Okay, good. I just didn't want the items that were on that belt to go to waste. Okay, good. We are not really close to anything yet, but we're almost done with this level, which should happen right about now. Boom. Ah, we got mergers. Good. Okay, balancers. Excellent. So what's the next level? So we need to snip squares then. All right. To unlock rotating. Excellent. All right, we're just going to have to get used to the idea that we're just going to tear these things down. And how much more are we going to need? Okay, this is the one we want right there. Yeah, I really want to get started on these. But I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to make longer belts. And let's go ahead... Actually, not so much longer belts, because I think we can take whatever we do. We can take whatever we mine and just merge it onto this belt, because clearly these are not going very fast. Oh, but you know what we can do? Now that we have mergers, we can put them on the same belt. There we go. So that's going to add a lot. And again, checking our progress here. Now, why did the squares stop? Oh, that's why. My bad. Okay, because it jammed up. The slicer actually jammed up. In order for the slicer to work and deliver everything it needs to deliver, there actually needs to be a way for both products, even if it's a waste product, to be cleared from the slicer. And if you just let the belt end, then the slicer gets jammed up and it can't send the product it needs to send to the hub. Okay, well, we can actually clean this up a little bit. Now that we have mergers, we can do a thing here. That way, both extractors extract onto this belt. So it just kind of cleans things up a little bit. Oh, new upgrade available. Let's see, what do we got? Extraction. Okay, so it's going to go a little bit quicker now. Ah, but we need to get our slicer and a rotator up and running. So we're going to need to slice circles, and we need 1,200 of them. So I think the thing to do is we're going to start to set that up over here. So let's go ahead and set up our slicer. Now, once we have the rotators, we're going to be able to rotate all of these, both slices, into the same direction. And that's going to help us out a lot. So let's go ahead. Basically, we're saving ourselves some time here. We're putting these things into operation. And then all we really have to do then is add the rotators. And we should be good to go. Now let's see where we're at as far as belts go. Still nothing. Anything. None of these are really about to be upgraded, unfortunately. Boy, if we could get those squares moving a lot faster than they are. And stars still have a way to go. So what I'm thinking is, let's go kill some time by increasing the number of stars that we can send. And okay, that ought to send a whole bunch of stars up. It'll help that go a lot faster. Okay, there we go. That's huge. So okay, got it. We don't need to worry about key bindings. Alright, so now we can start on belt distributors and tunnels, upgrading that. Oh yeah, we actually need to do 2 different versions of it, don't we? Son of a gun. And we might actually need to run another belt. Okay, so we're going to do, let's see, rotator is number 6. So if we do this one, there. And these together are actually going to take care of both the level up and the increase, or the upgrade we need to do the tier upgrade. So I have a feeling too that once we do the level up, since we only need 200 of them, that to upgrade to the next tier, we need 1,200 of these. So basically we could turn what were the upper half circles, we can just do two counterclockwise or clockwise rotations and just help them with this tier upgrade. We'll have these rotators set one way for a while, but then we'll come back. See, notice how we've got some up, some down? Well, we'll just set them all to face downward once we level up. I think that would work very well. And there's not a lot of room left on that belt, so I'm not going to merge these belts together. I'm just going to run a second belt. Okay, there we go. And let's check where we're at on the other stuff. Okay, this is going much faster. These stars are coming much faster. We don't have color mixing and painting yet, so we can't yet do the half squares, unfortunately. Actually, come to think of it, we don't need to do any half squares. What we can do, we can remove this. And we can do the slicing. And which way do the squares need to go? To the right. All right. Or, here's what we do. Where is the blue? Is there blue nearby? You know what? Maybe let's find squares that are next to blue dye. You see all these little things here? This is dye, and these are squares. So basically, we can extract the dye, use it to basically paint these squares, and then we'll slice the squares. That'll save us a lot of time if we paint them first, then slice them. Alright, so I'm actually going to start setting up for that. Extractor, place it over the shape or color. Yes, got it. Is that its way of telling me? Oh no, here's what it was. I got an upgrade. I was thinking, what was that noise? Okay, let's upgrade cutting, rotating, and stacking. What's the next one we need? Oh, well, there they are. I knew it. Freaking knew it. I knew I was going to be sorry that I got rid of that square slicer. Alright, so let's put it back. Let's put it back. Well, that's pretty cool. So now let's see where we're at. So we're getting a bunch of those. Oh, the square. Okay, for the circles, we can do this. But we're going to have to think this through. Because I'm used to... Later on in the game, you get a quad slicer that actually allows you to slice things directly into 4 pieces. Oh, here we go. Tunnel has been unlocked. Okay, so we can do undergroundies. Good. Okay, so here we are with the quarter circles. Right, we need to do that. So if we got everything going, almost everything except the mixing and painting, we can't do that yet. We don't have that ability, but we do have the ability to make these quarter circles, and we definitely need to do that. So let's go ahead, set up our extractors, and I'm using the hotkeys here. We're going to slice them, and then we're going to rotate them. Let's go ahead and clear the garbage out of there. Okay, then we're going to slice them again, because the slicers work vertically. Let's see, we want the upper right half. There we go. So that way, these are oriented the same. So both halves are now upper halves. So that's going to slice these. Okay, so we're going to rotate the ones on the left clockwise, and then we're going to merge both onto a single belt. That should give us the product we need for that extractor. Right there, yes. Okay, good. And that's the product we need there, which means this one needs to be rotated. And we're going to merge that belt. This is going to come up like this. Excellent. Okay, so there's our quarter circles. And let's bring these down and see if there's any way we can merge this into the existing belt. Probably not. Not unless the belt goes much faster. So let's go ahead and run a third belt. So we've gotten past the need for the lower half circles, haven't we? Didn't I say that earlier? Now that we no longer need them, we can turn them into upper half circles. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, come on now. Okay, yeah. Oh no, there's the lower half circles right there. We don't need the upper half circles. Right, I don't see them anywhere. So let's turn all the circles, all the half circles into lower half. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to like scan them and, you know, like they're merged on this belt, as you can see. We don't have a way to scan them and make the adjustment, so we have to make the adjustment before the merge. So, let's see. So it's right here that it needs to happen. Oh, I get that. That was kind of poorly designed. We need the lower half. All right. So let's do this. Let's actually completely redesign it. We're going to go ahead and merge them. And there's a slight lag for some reason, too. I don't know if it's the game or if it's just my computer. But there's a slight lag between the time I click on a button on the screen and it responds. Don't know why. Alright, so that's going to be awesome. So now we've got all those bottom halves coming down. And we still need the full circles, right? Yes, we do. Okay, everything seems to be going very well. And this number should start climbing quite a bit. And very soon, well, we're about halfway through to the next level. So that's cool. Wait, the lower half circles? Yeah, oh, we got a ton of them. Okay, well, where are the other circles coming from? Oh, okay, so right here. Right off the bat, this is no longer necessary. We've got circles coming in, and we don't need these. Circles are coming in at a very good pace. We need 360 of them for the next level, but we've already got 3,600. So we don't need that. So we can just continue with the system. Oh, there we go. Yes, colors. Okay, good. So now we can start to paint those half squares, remember? Which I think were down here, am I right? Oh no, it was over here. Okay, cool. We've got the die. Oh, and red circles right there. You see that? Just to up the game a little bit. So let's go ahead. We're going to slice the squares. Okay, we want the right... Oh, no, that's right. We're going to dye them first. Never mind. So let's go ahead and set up our color painters. Okay, now with these, we can accept them from both sides, but the orientation for this one is already correct. So let's do this, and let's go ahead, bring up the die to the input there. Now, this is where we need the tunnels, and it's very good that tunnels were unlocked before these things were. Okay, so therefore we've got that. Okay, there's our blue squares, and we're going to go ahead and set up the slicer. And let's see how this falls. I think we wanted the slices on the right, so let's go ahead and set up some rotators to rotate the ones that are on the left side to the right side. If I'm not mistaken, that's what we want right there. The squares, the half squares on the right side. And then let's just, oh, you know what? We want to do this efficiently too. So let's knock off the extraneous belts. We'll get our rotators in place and our merge back in place. Let's go ahead and put another merger in place. Okay, and we're just going to take this right to the hub. Oh, new upgrade. Awesome. There we go. 2 upgrades. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's definitely upgrade the belt, and let's upgrade the cutting and stacking. And, oh, here we go. We've got to merge. We've got to merge stuff. Okay. Well, let's take assessment where we're at here. Oh, you know what? Red circles, boy. We could do something right here with red circles, couldn't we? But that's just going to clutter things up. So if we can, oh, like right here. Here we go. So there's a possibility right here. I think this ought to be maybe the last level we aim for before we call it an episode, I think. So let's go ahead and let's set up our coloring devices. 1, 2. I've found that spacing them this far apart is the best, because it leaves room for the tunnels. And then let's go ahead, set up our extractors there and here, and we're going to get the circles turning red. Okay, now the question is, the circles or the belts are running so fast right now. Is it possible that we could merge these together onto one of these other belts right here? Oh yeah, definitely possible. I think that is definitely possible. So let's go ahead and just merge those together. There's plenty of... Oh, you know what? And now that the belts are going faster, we can start to merge these other things here together like this. Look at the space look at space between them all now. You see how it increases? Okay, so if I just do that, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to remove this belt up to a certain point. Yeah, I think we'll just remove most of it. Oops, cancel. That's a lot of habits from Factorio, I swear. Yeah, right about there. Okay, so that's as fast as it's going to go, because these things are just not that fast. Okay, so let's actually... So we got 800 of these things to make. So let's basically kind of repeat this design. Okay, so there we go. That's going to increase it a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at where we're at for the other stuff. Now, interesting that this next level on belts and distributors belts, distributor, and tunnels that this next color is basically fuchsia or purple or violet, whatever you want to call it. But it basically means we have to mix colors. But we do not yet have the ability to mix colors. For example, right here, the next level is level 7 to unlock counterclockwise rotating, which means that, like right now, all we have is clockwise rotators. But when we get this capability, we'll be able to switch between clockwise, counterclockwise, which is something I totally missed the first time around. But anyway, that's actually going to help, and it's going to save some space in places where we have to rotate things 3 times. There are a few of those, after all. So let's see, where are we at? Well, I'm thinking we'll wait this out, and we will see what the next what is in store for us at the next level. What shape we'll have to make. So stand by. Okay, we're kind of getting close to the end here. We're kind of getting close to our 800 red circle target, and look what I did here. I just like totally increased the output. Okay, so now we got counterclockwise rotating. Very cool. And, oh, look at that. We're going to go right into the next level because we've already got a crap ton of blue squares, of half blue squares. So that'll be done here in just a minute, too. I think that's why I don't remember this last time, this counterclockwise thing, because we just went boom, boom. And then we can mix colors. Oh, that's cool. So we could increase this extraction a little bit more, but with, 10 left to go to complete the level, I don't think we're even going to worry about that. Although we will need to do it later on. Boom. Okay, cool. So now we can mix colors. So let's just at least see what the next level is and what the goal is. Okay, so we're back to the fuchsia circles. We haven't done any of those. We have to get 1.4K and 15K in order to go up another tier. Well, I think that is actually a really good time to call this episode over. We powered through 8 levels. That's not too shabby. So I think we'll definitely hit it next time around, and hopefully we'll get some more efficient layouts, and we'll power through some of these other ones. We'll talk about welding and melding of shapes, layering of shapes, and though I don't think we have that capability yet, but we'll get there. We'll definitely work on these fuchsia circles, purple, violet, whatever. I'm male. I'm not supposed to know the color fuchsia, whatever. Anyway, well, there you go. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. It tells me that you like what you see and you want to see more of it. And certainly leave questions and comments down below. I am very open to feedback. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.